So I did do a take of this the day before. I didn't like it, so I'm gonna redo this. But otherwise, let's get right to it. VFW is a pure 80s throwback. You got your Stephen Lang, you got William Sadler, you got Fred Williamson, George Wendt, David Patrick Kelly, and a few others I can't really name off the top of my head. What more do you want? It's got that right amount of cheese and a foundation for all these characters before the action really kicks off. In this current state of filmmaking where you have all these characters and you want to throw them in and you want to knock them down like dominoes, this film instead takes its time and introduces you to these characters and the conflict and everything around it. And it's one of those genres that I'm a fan of where it's old men doing young people things. Wim Wenders, who then went on to make Paris, Texas and Wings of Desire and Until the End of the World, before he did all of that, he gathered a bunch of filmmakers from all around the world into a single hotel room, had them talk into a tape recorder for at most 10 minutes about the future of cinema. Now, Fassbinder's presence is very important in this film because maybe a month after he appeared in this film, so suddenly at the age of 37 he would die. So his presence in this is really eerie. For anybody who is a general fan of film, this is essential viewing. Godard was the most nihilistic, appropriately, and of course Herzog and Spielberg foresaw their lack of worry in the future of cinema because, of course, Spielberg would be doing fine, Werner Herzog would transition over to documentary, but Fassbinder coming in and talking about the future and then not being able to see that future, I think it's a big thing I need to highlight about this. I can now safely say I have seen the best Claire Denis film with Beau Travail. This is a brooding, pseudo-masculine film. I say pseudo-masculine because it's not really a masculine film. It's about the toxicity of man and the army. I can safely describe the entire film as if Neil Breen's Double Down was a good movie. If it was a competent, functional, and a coherent film. Let me explain. Both films have wide scopes of desert. Both films have internal monologues. Both films are mostly narrated by one single individual. There are also moments of silence and stillness that both of these films incorporate in their own respective ways. But whereas Double Down is a Gary Stu narrative that only is made to show this character that Neil Breen has created to be this godlike figure who comes in and saves the day and is like the best agent that there could ever be, Beau Travail shows the ugliness of somebody trying to be the best. The ending is one of the best endings in any film ever. I'm not going to say what happens, but this final sequence that Claire Denis puts in Beau Travail it stands the test of time. And I think when people say that Beau Travail is Claire Denis' best film, there's some basis to this claim. It just makes sense to say so. This is a good entry film for anybody who is ready for so bad it's good cinema. This is one of those cases where it is like genuinely enjoyable and fun and a damn good time. It is a competently made film, and everybody involved in the cast except maybe Joseph Cotten had incredible fun being their characters. Vincent Price You can tell he had fun as well. Ocean waves, take me by the haves, lead me to the laves. That's literally all I could think of when I was watching that movie. On the whole, it's pretty unremarkable as a Studio Ghibli film. It is kind of a bit of a disappointment to say that. But take away the story, what do you have left? The most gorgeous vaporwave foundation you will ever see. It's so light on the eyes, soft on the face. It's so nice and tepid and lean, and it's like, it's smooth enough that you'd want to take stills from this movie and use them in a vaporwave playlist on YouTube, or a just vaporwave album art, or just art on anywhere else like Tumblr or something. It's just a really calming film to look at otherwise. Slice of life high school stuff I don't really connect with, just on a association basis, but this film didn't really need that for me. It had the aesthetic, so that was good enough. This is Dr. Seuss writing the film. As in The Cat in the Hat, The Grinch, The Lorax. That sweet rhyming man. Dr. Seuss knew who he was writing for. He was writing for all ages for this film. And while he wasn't happy with the final product, I think he was a bit too hard on himself. I think if he stuck around for the future of film as is and carried on making more things like that, I think it would have been an illustrious career in script writing. But instead he just stuck with children's books. The contents thereof of the film are very much like a Dr. Seuss story just expanded into something bigger. When you see movies of his books, like The Grinch, or The Cat in the Hat, or animated adaptations, you see a wide and expanded universe. What Dr. Seuss does here is he takes something big and puts it inside of a child's mind. It's all a dream, but the best part about this is that it's already established as a dream. And this whole notion of this piano teacher being this power-crazy, power-hungry dictator in this kid's mind and not making him any more human in the real world just adds to this whole grand size of this man's presence. Birdboy, or The Unexpected Virtue of Forgotten Children, yeah, I went there, is a Spanish animated film from 2015 and is a good piece of proof that not all adult animations need to look like the back of my ass, big mouth. They don't need to look ugly. They don't need to look like you just did them on the fly just to get them up and have these voice actors and comedy actors do voices about dumb, stupid shit just to get your joke across. You can make it look pretty, even with the minimal animation style that this movie brings onto the table. Animals, yes, is a very dense in style, dense in presentation, yes, but you don't need to have a David Firth or an Animals to be a nice-looking animation. You just need to have nice-looking characters and settings. Birdboy shows you, as a viewer, what the virtues of a good presentation can do to a film. The contents therein are just as complementary. This is a film that is basically if Animal Crossing was a nihilistic film with conflict. It's pretty sad most of the time. It's very brief, sticks to the point, passes by you very quickly. By the time you're finished, you'll be thinking, oh. I'm surprised that lowering the amount of movies I talk about with this format would make my files so little, but either way, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all in the middle of the month, around that time period. Bye.